Welcome everybody. My name is Nakaira G, aka Naked Gold, aka No Egyptian, and we are at Griot of the Diaspora here at Alley Bar in Accra, Ghana. And today I have a very special guest. I'm very, very excited to interview this person. She doesn't know, but I have been following her probably since like 2015. And I remember when like she was really like new in the space. So this is a very big full circle moment for me. I'm really excited. So I want to introduce everybody to the Masked DJ.
Hey.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having
It's
me.
been a minute, but we formally met at a DJ workshop put on by Oroko Radio and Watts Woman, as well as Pioneer DJ. And the Masked DJ, along with other DJs, Ghana Boy, DJ Fui, F the DJ. We were all practicing at Terra Alta, and so we had a really, really good time. And the workshop recently ended a few weeks ago, and so I didn't get to get the Masked DJ before she became an international sensation, but I had to make this interview as soon as possible because I know that everything's going to change pretty much after this moment. So I'm very glad that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
So to get started, I wanted to know the story behind the mask. When did it start, and why?
Okay. I learned how to DJ 2013, so I'm actually in my 10th year as a DJ. I think I'm going to have like a 10-year celebration later in the year. I started out as DJ Michi because my name is Michelle, and I was playing Afrobeat, hip-hop, dancehall, everything. But like 2 years into it, I realized that personally I loved electronic dance music, and I decided that no, there wasn't like a big community for electronic music in Accra, so I decided to start playing electronic music. But even when I started playing it, the reception was really, really low. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to fuse it with our African sounds and then see how it goes from there. So I've been doing that. But when I was changing over from DJ Michi, and when I decided to play electronic music, I also wanted to do something that showed that there was going to be a difference. It wasn't just the sound I was changing, but I was changing something about myself. I grew up as a shy person. I know people think I'm not shy, but I know I'm very, very shy. So I prefer to be in my own space when I'm DJing. And that was how come I'm like, okay, you know what, when I wear a mask, then people are not going to pay attention to me as a person, but just the music I'm playing. So that's why I started wearing the mask, and I decided to call myself the Masked DJ. So basically that's how come it came about.
So that started 2013.
No, I started wearing the mask in 2015.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
That's when I found you.
Yeah.
Yes. And so how did you learn? Were you self-taught, or did you have a workshop as well?
So I was just basically playing around the software in my uni room, and then a friend came in and said, oh, I know a DJ who can help you if you really want to be a DJ. Even then, I didn't think I was going to be a DJ. It's just that I'd always been fascinated about the art of DJing. So I said, you know what, just bring him and let's do it. So I learned it. He kept coming to my room to teach me for like over a month, and then I kept practicing, and now we are here.
And so did you start out DJing hip-hop, hip-life? Like, what was the transition to house music and
It was a
music?
mixture of everything then that was popping, but it was mainly Afrobeats because we love Afrobeats in Accra or Ghana, so it was mainly Afrobeats. And even when I decided to switch over, I didn't throw out Afrobeats. I was still like merging it and stuff. But yeah, it was pretty much Afrobeats in the beginning.
So when I first came to Ghana, I was introduced to hip life and high life way before I was introduced to Afrobeat.
Okay.
Do you have a preference of like Ghana's traditional music versus Afrobeat, or?
I actually love both because, like we all know, Afrobeats came from our old sounds. So I love both. Even sometimes there are times when you are DJing and then you look at how the crowd is going, and then you just drop like an old high life or hip life tune, and then everyone goes crazy because that was what we grew up with and we love it, and that's what has evolved now for us to get Afrobeat. So it's always good to go back to the roots and then come back.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned alternative music, and I know that you were a part of iMuller.
Yeah.
And so right now, Ghana Twitter is kind of up in arms because they're talking about the music, the scene. Some people feel like it's not incorporating local music, but everyone kind of knows that iMuller came out as an alternative space.
Yeah.
So How do you feel about that? Like knowing that Imula is possibly just going to keep getting bigger and better, and knowing that some people, want it to become more local.
So I feel like there are 1,001 Afrobeat events in Accra. You should. I don't go to events that I personally don't want to be at. There's no way I'm going to leave my house and go to an event that I don't want to be at. There are a lot of Afrobeat parties. There are themed dancehall parties. There are themed hip hop parties around Accra. So I feel like there is enough parties for everyone to go to. So it's not just this particular one that we are doing for electronic dance music or the alternative sounds. That has to be changed. Not saying that we do not play Afrobeat at Imula. We play Afrobeat at Imula, but we can't make that our core focus because that's not what it was created for. Imula was created for DJs to come showcase themselves. So if the DJ is coming and they want to showcase themselves with house music, it's house music. If they want to showcase themselves with dancehall, it's dancehall. But the main purpose of Imula is for the DJs, and it's not what the crowd wants to listen to. It's the DJ showing their broad knowledge in every music genre that they want to play or they are associated with. And saying that the most of the DJs that are on Imula are DJs that play different sounds from what we know. We have house, we have garage, we have drum and bass, we have the different ones that you don't normally hear on a typical night out. And I feel like that's a space that's good for us because we do not have such big events that cater to that kind of music. So I feel like everyone should leave Imula for what it was created for and go to all the 1,001 Afrobeat parties around the city.
I understand. So, a couple weeks ago, we all saw online when Kamala Harris visited Ghana, and when she saw you, she let you know that she knew who you were, she read about you, and I believe listened to your music or at least seen you play somehow. What was that interaction like?
I wasn't expecting it. I mean, on that day, we knew that the very special guest we were going to meet was the vice president, but I didn't ever think there was going to be any personal interaction between myself and her. And I've worked in the past 10 years. I've worked in the past 10 years. And there are even times when I feel like my work wasn't being appreciated enough. But those who know the work I've been doing know the work I've been doing. I know the work I've been doing. So to have someone of such a high caliber say, "Oh, I've read about you," it was surreal. It felt good because I mean, she's taking her time out of her busy schedule to read about me. And it felt like whatever it is that I'm doing that I even think I'm not being credited for, she has read about me. It's a good cosign. It's a major cosign. And yeah, I love it for me. I really, really love it for me because now I know that, okay, even though I know that I've been doing the work, there is this person too who also knows that, yes, girl, you've been doing the work. So it felt good. It felt good.
So talk to me a little bit about the house music, alternative. When would you say that became a thing, or when you started to see more and more interaction with the nightlife community?
Okay, so first in Accra or in Ghana, the only spaces or the relevant spaces that you would see alternative music, and it wasn't even just music, it was the fashion, it was the art, it was everything, was Charlie Water Street Art Festival. You go to the Republic Bar, Local House. Local House was helping us organize all these alternative events. And then the only DJs, or let me say the only artist you were seeing doing this was Stilo, DJ Stilo. There was Kizos, there was myself, there was Kobe Graham. We had Master Q and Pizarro also playing mainstream house music at their various gigs and stuff. So it wasn't like a lot of people, but then we were still doing it. Some of these people have left to Europe, some are still here. And this is like, let's say 2014, 2015, 2013, thereabout. Fast forward, we had Year of Return. And I feel like Year of Return, even though people think it's just December that we have diasporans coming here, it's actually not true. Any given part of the year, not just December. And you know, when all these people come here, they try to join us in whatever that we do. We've had DJs, we've had artists, we've had different groups, individuals, organizations, and all. And normally, the music you play, you are playing for an audience, all right. And in as much as it's the DJ's job to share new music, break new music to the people, sometimes the people you are playing for also gives you an idea of the type of music you should play. So prior to this, we weren't having like, let me say, the people who were listening to these kind of music, majority of them were diasporans. But now we have a community whereby you have everyone, or not even everyone, but then we have like a good number of people who will show up to these kind of events, because now there's all my cousins, there's no request. And funny enough, before this no request, there was an old no request event that was being created by DJ Kizos. She was doing wild stuff with electronic music, live remixing and stuff way back in the day. And she had an event called No Request, because when you come, the DJ is playing. It's just like Imula. It's what the DJ is playing. You can come and ask for Afrobeat. You can come and ask for hip hop. So that's what we were doing then. So even though we started from the smaller rooms like Local House and stuff, now we have the bigger platforms like Imula and all these things. I feel like the shift that started happening, let's say 2017, 2018, thereabouts, but it proper really shifted, let's say 2019. That was when like Year of Return had really kicked in into full gear. So it started around that time. We had more audience listening to the music. And I feel like that has also helped, because when you go to an event, I know people who go to an event not knowing what kind of music is going to play. And you go there and the DJ is playing alternative music and you're like, oh, okay, I think I can rock with this. And then you realize that, okay, you are even a fan of something you didn't know. So yeah, around 2019, thereabout, it has changed massively. I won't say, well, Stilo and Kizos, Stilo is all over the world now. Kizos is also in Europe, so someone had to hold it down.
The Neo Egyptian collection offers a variety of unique press-on sets for all bodies. Each set is hand-painted and authentically designed by a one-woman team. These designs are inspired by queens and goddesses of both myths and reality. You can even choose your sizes from extra small to large, or you can put in a custom request and visit the website today.
So you did mention the year of return. So I've been coming to Ghana since 2013. I was a student here at University of Ghana.
I went to University of
yes,
Ghana.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. So I was a part of the Institute of African Studies, and I was here at a time where like the December thing was more so like the Ghanaians from other parts, like who lived in other parts, they would come home. It wasn't a lot of talk about like people from America, and like, you know, it was more so like a Ghanaian thing, like very much so like people who are Ghanaian who would come home during that time.
Yeah.
And I remember how different Accra was just in that 1 month. You know, the clubs were a little bit different. You just saw a different crowd. So now that the president has kind of declared, you know, year of return, December, this is what we're doing in Ghana. What do you think about that in terms of the nightlife culture? Does it bring that December? Do you see a difference since it was already a thing prior to the president saying it?
Yes, it was a thing, but it wasn't called Year of Return. So basically, like most Ghanaians abroad, especially the UK and the US, used to come home in December to come spend time with their family. Yeah. So then when they do come down, the young ones join their friends, their cousins, their siblings here to have fun during December. So we go out, we chill, go to different places. So it became a thing. It's like every December, everyone is looking forward to their family members or friends coming home, and they're also looking forward to coming home. So it was, I won't say, it was a big deal, but it wasn't a big deal. It was just normal stuff. December, everyone is coming home to celebrate the holidays. But when we realized that, no, this is the movement. Like, it's like people can't actually wait to come home in December. That was when, okay, the government realized, you know what, it's good for tourism, it's good for our nightlife, everything. So let's declare it like officially. Let's set up an organization for that beyond the year of return, so that we have people coming in. So now we just don't have like Ghanaian family members coming home. We have people from all over the world coming home to Accra or Ghana to celebrate Christmas. And I feel like it has changed our nightlife. If we had 10 clubs then, now we have 30 or 40. If we had 50 events, now we have 150 events, because we have so many people. There's a different audience for every event, and you can have people party from 1st December to like 15th January, because there's different events that has been created for different groups of people. So I think it has helped. It's helped with tourism. It's helped with for we artists especially. We've seen how we've met people that on the normal we wouldn't have met. Like, it would take a lot of work to meet these people, but then we have these people come to Accra, they party with us, they find out about the work we are doing and everything. And I know it's helped. It's really, really helped. And it's a good thing because now everyone wants to come home. And we have sometimes when people come home, they feel like, okay, we also need to give our bit to the community. So we are not just taking from it, but we're also giving something back. And that, I think that's a very, very good initiative for we artists because we've seen the spaces that has been created out of the year of return.
Nice. So the last question is, since you pretty much DJ'd at all of the bars and the major spaces, and you're very highly requested when there's new events and alternative events, what are some of the stages you want to DJ in Ghana or around the world?
Okay, so I've always wanted to play Ultra Music Festival. Always wanted to do Coachella. I've always wanted to do Tomorrowland, EDC. So I always wanted to do a boiler room, but I did that one last year, so it's crossed off the bucket list. So I'm looking at Ultra Music Festival, Coachella, Tomorrowland, EDC, and I know it will happen for me. So I'm just trusting the process and waiting for it eagerly.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.